Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm the owner and creator here at All Things All Happy. And in today's tutorial, we will be working on this beauty. This is a Honky Tonk Babe Tumbler. My daughter had asked me to make this for her and I was super excited to do that because she never asks me to make her anything. So I was super excited to get this one done. I used two different types of glitter and we used a transparent vinyl in the center. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you like it as much as I do. So join me as we get this tumbler started. We're going to be working with a 32-ounce Plump prepped tumbler and I have a Hydrofit cap. This is from the Steel Magnolia and it's already prepped so I don't need to sand it. It's all ready to go. So I'm going to be using a vinyl. This is a transparent vinyl from Banff, and it's Honky Tonk Babe. It's pretty cute. This is a tumbler for my daughter. I'm super excited because my girls never want anything. So the fact that she wants it is just exciting for me. I'm going to cut about half of this vinyl. All right, once I've determined where I'm going to place the vinyl, I'm just going to mark it up, and I'm just going to center it in the middle of the tumbler. Once I've marked my tumbler, I'm just going to use the blue Scotch tape here, and I'm just going to put it all the way around the tumbler along the line. So she's chosen to use two different color glitters. She wants this teal blue, which is Pacifica Tail, and we're going to use a white for the center because this is transparent, so we want the image to really come through, so we're going to use a white glitter for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the bottom and the top this blue color, and I'm just using Americano paint. You can get it from Walmart, you can get it from Hobby Lobby, any craft store. And then we're just going to set it to the side to dry. Once the paint is dry, we're just going to add some Mod Podge. And we're going to use some Pacifica Tail. This is part of the Let's Be Mermaids collection. And we're just going to sprinkle that all the way around the tumbler. We're also going to do the top as well. The paint, I only did one coat because the glitter is dark. So I only need one coat of the paint. If I was using a lighter colored glitter, I would definitely do two coats of paint where it would show a nice even color all the way around. And then I just like to run my finger along the rim just to make sure there's no chunk of glitter sticking out at the top. Tap off any of the excess. And then I'm just going to roll the tumbler in the parchment paper just to flatten out the glitter because it is chunky. Just going to go ahead and re-Mod Podge and re-glitter both the top and the bottom. It has such a nice coverage already that I don't even need to put another coat of glitter. But when we have an opportunity to add more glitter, why not? And don't forget to roll it again softly in that parchment paper to flatten out the chunky glitter. Once you're done flattening out that glitter, just want to begin removing the tape nice and slow. You don't want the glitter and the Mod Podge to fully dry yet. You just want to remove that as soon as you're done applying that second coat. Then I just like to go around the edge and just flatten it a little bit on both sides. And then we're just going to set this to the side and let it fully dry. Once the tumbler is dry, I'm just going to add a little bit of the CCDIY's Quick Coat Sealer because I would like to seal in that blue glitter so it does not get all over my white glitter. So I'm just going to put a coat of this over my glitter. I'm going to do both the top and the bottom. You can also spray seal. It's the middle of the night here, so I'm going to just do this, but you can spray seal it as well. Once you're done sealing it, I would recommend just like letting it sit for about 30 minutes so it dries fully before the next step. Once the sealer has dried, we're going to go ahead and we are going to Mod Podge the center of the tumbler. And you just want to go close up to the edge without going over that blue. And don't forget, Mod Podge dries quick, so you need to move quick. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and we are going to add some crystal tips. Tap any of the excess off, and then we're just going to let this dry, and we're going to reapply another coat. Once your Mod Podge is dry, we're just going to go ahead and just brush off any of the excess glitter, and we are going to reapply the Mod Podge and the glitter. Because this is our second coat of the Mod Podge, it won't dry as quickly, so you'll be able to get really close to the edges to add that glitter. Okay, sometimes I'm not sure if you can see right here. It doesn't really have glitter because it dries quick. But because this is the second coat, it'll stay wet a little longer so that when we apply the glitter, it will adhere. Now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to add that second coat of glitter. Once you're done with that second coat, we're just going to let this dry fully. I went ahead and I poured 25 milliliters of epoxy. I'm using 12.5 of part A and 12.5 of part B. I'm using the amazing Quick Coat by Illuminite. And once you have that all nicely mixed together, I'm just going to begin pouring it on. I like to use slow controlled portions. I'm just going to apply some heat just to pop any bubbles that come to the surface. And just be aware that this is a really thin coat of epoxy that we put on. We are going to be adding another coat after this, and that will be a little bit thicker, but this coat is very thin. I'm just going to let this spin around for about 4 to 5 hours. Once your tumbler is dry, we're just going to go ahead and we are going to add another coat of epoxy. This time I am doing 30 mLs, and I did 15 of part A and 15 of part B, and I'm using the amazing Quick Coat by Illuminite. Once you've evenly applied your epoxy, you just want to hit it with some heat to pop any of the bubbles that come to the surface. We're just going to go ahead and let this spin around for about 4 to 5 hours. Our tumbler is now dry. So we're going to take some alcohol, and I'm just going to wipe it down a little bit just to make sure that there's nothing on it because my children touched it. So I just want to make it nice and clean. It's actually really smooth all around. There's no bumps, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Now we're going to take our vinyl and we're just going to fold back just a little bit of the back paper, and then we're just going to slowly just put it down. Make sure it's nice and even. I'm just going to wrap it all the way around just to see how it falls. Once we see that it matches all the way around, we're just going to begin to take off the entire image. So now we slowly want to push the image down, making sure not to leave any bubbles behind. And you can feel the bubble. So you can just lift the vinyl right back up and then push it right back down. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess at the top. Once we get to the end, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to start cutting it. And because the vinyl is see-through, we can cut different areas off. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this here because you don't really see the image. So that when I lay this side down, this entire image is laying flat on it. And on this part here, I'm just going to end up just cutting right down the line. You just want to push down your sides, just make sure the ends are nice and flat. This is what we have so far. Once you've laid the vinyl flat, you're just going to go around and see if you find any air bubbles. If you do, just poke it and then flatten it out. So what I'm going to do in the back where I put the two pieces of vinyl together, I'm going to cut out the pieces that don't make sense, because if you look at this, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm actually going to cut it out around the image. So as you can see, so now you just have the lips here without having that beginning of that B of the babe. So that way you don't know where the image starts and where the image ends. And because it's opaque, when you put the resin on it, you're not going to see it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play around with it. Now we're just going to take some washi tape and we're just going to edge between the white and the blue glitter. I just want to roll it all the way around. Then with a really small overlap, you just want to cut that off. And then we're going to do the bottom. Once you have your washi tape in place, just want to make sure you just press down all around. Make sure it's nice and flat. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some CCDIY's Quick Coat. And this just seals it in place so that when we epoxy over it, it won't go underneath the washi, just in case the washi tape lifts a bit. It won't do that. We're just going to go ahead and seal both the bottom and the top of the washi tape. And we're also going to seal our image because we poked holes in them. So if you were able to apply your vinyl flat totally without having to pop any air bubbles, you don't need to seal it. But if you did pop air bubbles, I would recommend sealing it. Otherwise, the epoxy will get into that little hole and it will raise your vinyl. Go ahead and I'm just going to quickly go around and seal this vinyl flat. Once you're done with that, you're just going to let that sit for about 30 minutes to dry. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to line the washi tape with this really thin washi tape. And they look like this. I got them on Amazon. And they even give you the holder, this little plastic holder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it right above and right below. And I'm just going to roll it around while I roll my tumbler around, and then just edging that purple washi tape. So it just lines right above it. I did the bottom portion. Just gives it a little different look. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to line underneath as well. Once you're done, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to seal it again with that CCDIY sealer. You could do this all as one step with the washi tape and the vinyl, but because it was an afterthought for me, I'm going to do it now. I went ahead and I mixed 25 mLs of the amazing Clear Cast Plus by Illuminite. I did 12.5 of part A and 12.5 of part B. And I'm going to begin pouring. And I always like to use slow pours. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a thin coat all over the tumbler. This is definitely going to take 2 coats. Well, at least I hope 2 perfect coats. Once you have the epoxy all nice and even, just want to hit it with some heat to pop any bubbles that come to the surface. And we're just going to let this turn for about 7 to 8 hours. Once your tumbler is dry, we're just going to go ahead and we are just going to clean it. We're going to clean the top of any of the excess resin. And then we're going to use a sanding block just to sand it smooth on the bottom. And if there's any other area that needs just a little bit sanding. I'm just going to prep this tumbler for the final coat of epoxy. So we just want to smooth out any edges that may be imperfect. Once you're done sanding, we're just going to use some alcohol and we're just going to wipe it clean. All right, so I went ahead and I mixed 25 mLs of epoxy. I did 12.5 of part A and 12.5 of part B. And I'm using the amazing Clear Cast Plus by Illuminite. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some epoxy on and then just gradually move it across the entire tumbler. Just want a nice even coat all the way around. My goal here is to make sure it's nice and smooth so that it will be our last coat. Once you feel your tumbler is nice and smooth, go ahead and apply some heat. We're just going to use a little blowtorch here just to pop any bubbles that come to the surface. And we're just going to let this spin for about 8 to 9 hours. So we are done. This came out really pretty. The shine on it is so beautiful. And I even love how we did that extra little washi tape here next to the other purple one. It makes it really pop. Hope you guys love it. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comment section below. And till next time. See you soon.